We were blessed with an absolutely loaded offensive line class in the 2024 NFL Draft, and thankfully for teams who still need a tackle, the 2025 draft is full of players who I think can start on both sides of the offensive line. LSU has a pair of potential franchise tackles, but today I want to highlight their left tackle, Will Campbell, a player who was absolutely dominant in 2023 and is expected to be one of the top tackles off the board. How does he compare to the rest of the class? That's what we will be going over in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon, which I'll have linked down in the description below. For $5 a month, you will get exclusive access to my draft guide, evaluations, prospect interviews, access to the fantasy league, and much more. Also, be sure to check out the playlist where I will be posting prospect spotlights all year leading up to the NFL Draft. And without further ado, let's take a closer look at Will Campbell. Campbell was very impressive for LSU in his sophomore season. He played in 805 offensive snaps, starting in every game for the Tigers. In those snaps, he allowed 5 hits, 12 hurries, and 0 sacks on the season, and did an amazing job of helping keep Jaydendaniels and his blind side safe. Only 17 pressures on the year is extremely solid, and he graded out very well per PFF, and has been a guy on many people's radars entering the 2025 draft cycle. Campbell has great size for the left tackle position. Standing at 6'6", 325 pounds, he is an absolute tank for the left tackle position. He has an incredible build, has fantastic length, and is exactly what teams are looking for in their franchise tackles. An area I love about him is his high motor. He does not stop blocking until the whistle is blown and the play is over, and I love that energy from my potential franchise left tackle. Campbell is an incredibly strong offensive tackle prospect, both in his upper and lower body. I was really impressed by his ability to just overpower defenders, and it showed up especially in the run game. He was a people mover, and could body any and every defender who came his way. He also had a very strong lower body, and his footwork and anchor were absolutely fantastic, and those are all traits that I think are going to translate extremely well to the NFL level. As a pass protector, that's where I was most impressed with Campbell's game. He was a very smart tackle, and he did an amazing job of picking up a free rusher, recognizing where the blitz was going to be coming from, and picking up stunts, and I really loved to see that. He had good footwork and pass protection, and had a very good shuffle as well, but my favorite part about Will Campbell is his hands. He pops defenders with some incredibly powerful hands, but he also has incredible instincts on how to counter pass rush moves effectively. This play against Alabama really stuck out to me. He's one-on-one against Dallas Turner, and Turner tries to hit him with a swim or cross chop. Campbell does an unbelievable job of swiping Turner's hands away, continuing to slide his feet, and doesn't allow Turner to gain any leverage on the outside. And those were the type of plays that showed up consistently on tape, and I think he has some of the best hand usage of any tackle in this draft class. Campbell is a high IQ, high energy offensive tackle who has incredible strength, but he has some issues that I think people are really going to pay attention to. Athletically, I think this is where people will have their most struggles with Will Campbell as a prospect. He's not a super quick player and struggles sometimes to climb into the second level. I don't think he's a bad athlete by any means, but he's still a really nice run blocker, but compared to some other players in this class, he is a little bit slower than you'd potentially like to see. I also think Campbell plays with high pads from time to time. Typically, you like to see your linemen generate their power from their lower body, and when they don't, it can cause them to get flat-footed and pushed around more easy. That's exactly what happens with Will Campbell. He doesn't have bad anchor, but when a defender makes first contact, he does have the tendency to get pushed back. It's not a major issue because he has elite footwork to fix the issue, and he does do that very effectively. But I think he needs to improve his pad level and maybe could work on consistency in his anchor. The 2025 offensive tackle class is not as strong as previous years, but I am a huge fan of Will Campbell. He can run block, he's an elite pass protector who's powerful in his hands, and I love that. I'm not saying he's Joe Alt, but a lot of people are going to get a lot of prospect fatigue, and I just don't think we should overthink it with Will Campbell. Yes, he's not an elite athlete, but I think he's the most technically sound offensive tackle prospect in this class, and he is my #1 tackle prospect. Don't overthink it, because he does so many things at an elite level, and I think he's a top 5 prospect in this class. I think Will Campbell is an incredibly versatile offensive tackle prospect. He is a great and nasty run blocker, he's got great hands and footwork and pass protection, and he had some up and down games, but I think he can fit in almost any scheme at the NFL level. I think I like him best in a wide zone, play action sort of offense, where he can be on the move as a run blocker, but that also allows him to settle back as a pass blocker. It doesn't ask him to climb the second level all that much, and I think this is where you're going to get the most effectiveness out of Will Campbell at the NFL level. My player comparison for Will Campbell is Detroit Lions left tackle Taylor Decker. This might seem like an underwhelming comparison, but Decker is not the greatest athlete in the world, but he has been one of the most productive left tackles in the league since being drafted. He's an elite pass blocker, he has some really high upside moments as a run blocker, and I think he offers a lot in the blocking department. Campbell has a lot of the same tools, and I think he has the upside to be a very similar type of player to Taylor Decker, so that's my comparison for him. Will Campbell is an awesome left tackle prospect. His size, strength, and versatility do not come around super often, and I think he's going to have another incredible season for LSU, and I expect Will Campbell will be a top 10 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.